WVII Bangor.
From the Great Northwoods to the Rock-On Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll take a look at the proposed education plan of gubernatorial candidate Paul LePage, plus an update on the dog that was lost after a crash in Ogunquit last week, and an update of the devastating fire that displaced 10 people in Bangor over the weekend. This and more local news right now. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Let's start off with a forecast check with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, so we only have a small craft advisory that's in effect along the coast, lasting till about 4 p.m. today. Afterward, the wind will slowly start to calm down, which will help out the ocean. But otherwise, though, plenty of rain moving in this morning, and even some thunderstorms along the coast, as the lightning tracker has been lighting up with some of that early this morning. The rain's going to track off towards the north and east and hit our eastern counties for most of today, which will allow more rain to fall there. But once we head towards tomorrow, things will begin to improve as we get this precipitation out of here. With this area of low pressure that does continue to track off towards the east, not much behind it. So again, we got to get through today and parts of tonight before tomorrow things begin to look good. As for today, Futurecast showing some of that rain staying around the eastern parts of our viewing area. But again, later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow, they'll back off to a few sprinkles. And eventually by tomorrow, the clouds will also begin to break up. The winds, though, will kind of be all over the place a little bit. A few gusts up to 20 miles per hour from time to time, but a gradual back off in the wind, especially as we head towards your Wednesday. So for today, middle 50s. It'll be cool out there, cloudy with rain showers. The north wind gusting up to about 20 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Plenty of rain with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. A Lubec man facing murder charges was in court Monday. Paul DeForest was arrested back in January after state police found his girlfriend, Eva Cox, deceased in the trunk of DeForest's vehicle, following reports that DeForest and Cox were involved in a domestic dispute. Attorney Stephen Jeskowich represented DeForest in Washington County Superior Court and requested the judge change the venue for the upcoming trial because Eva Cox was, quote, very well liked within the community. The judge did not make a decision regarding the request, saying more information would be needed, giving the defense until the end of the month to provide that information. A tragic fire destroyed the homes of 10 people over the weekend. A.J. Douglas spoke to residents who are still picking up the pieces and learned how community members can help.
Around 10:40 Saturday morning, the Bangor Fire Department began receiving calls about smoke at 345 Union Street, adjacent to Charles Street. The heavy smoke quickly turned to flames, resulting in 10 people having to evacuate a place they once called home.
Fire started right here behind me somewhere near these porches, went up through the second floor into both parts of the building. Of course, with no power and gas to the building, all the tenants are displaced.
Holly Legender and Charlie Butera were residents of 64 Charles Street prior to the tragic fire. Legender began receiving calls about the fire while attending her late sister's funeral in Augusta. The two say they are grateful they were not home when the fire started.
We're doing our best to be grateful every day that we weren't here.
I'd like to think that it was my sister's,
Looking over us.
Last thing that she was looking after was...
The couple say they lost everything except the clothes on their backs and a few personal items left in their car. They are also mourning the loss of their cats, who perished in the fire.
We lost...
We lost my twin tiger kitties, Danny and Jamie.
It's been probably the hardest part, but everything else, for the most part, is gone.
The couple says the fire comes at a time when they had a lot to look forward to, including their wedding. They plan to continue working as musicians, but are asking community members to help them find housing and continue planning for their big day.
It's really to just try to have us find a place to live, really just kind of rebuild our lives again, but also we're still going to try to have our wedding in 2 weeks.
To learn more about how you can help, log on to foxbangor.com. In Bangor, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Maine's uninsured rate experienced the largest decline in the nation in recent years. That announcement was made yesterday by Governor Janet Mills. A new report from the U.S. Census Bureau shows Maine's uninsured rate dropped from 8% in 2019 to 5.7% in 2021. The 2.3% drop is the largest decline of any state, with Idaho a close second. Maine went from having the 26th to the 14th lowest uninsured rate in the nation. According to information from the Maine Health Data Organization, as a result of more people having health insurance, uncompensated care for Maine hospitals fell by more than $84 million between 2018 and 2020. Gubernatorial candidate and former Governor Paul LePage unveiled his education plan for the state of Maine, which he says will put parents and students first and increase school choice. Among the proposed measures are prioritizing education dollars to provide new after-school care up to 5 p.m. to help parents fully get back to work, and starting vocational and technical education options as early as middle school. It also proposes formulating a Parents' Bill of Rights, which he says would include an emphasis on basic subjects to improve overall scores in math, science, and reading, and providing curriculum transparency for parents that allows a parental opt-out option for sensitive materials.
Parents must be notified of all sensitive material with a parental opt-out option. Our curriculums need to focus on teaching our children how to think, not what to think.
The proposed Bill of Rights also suggests allowing public money be spent on a school of the parents' and child's choice. Chair of the Maine Democratic Party, Drew Gatine, issued a statement in response to Paul LePage's plan for education in Maine, saying in part, quote, "Maine has a long-standing tradition of local control, one in which we empower parents and school boards to work together to decide what belongs in schools and classrooms. Now LePage is taking a national Republican playbook and trying to import it into Maine, putting government square in the middle of these discussions to play referee. Maine parents don't want and don't need Paul LePage getting in the way." Gatine also mentioned the ranking Republican member of the legislature's Education Committee has gone as far as to call LePage's plan unnecessary due to the function of school boards as a way for parents to give their educational feedback. A dog that went missing after a crash on I-95 was located this weekend. At approximately 8 p.m. Saturday, the Augusta Regional Communications Center received 2 calls from motorists advising they had seen what appeared to be a dog in the area of I-95 in York. According to the release, Maine State Police Trooper Matthew Williams began searching the area when he noticed the reflection of 2 eyes shining back at him from the woods. He stopped his cruiser and was able to see Whiskey's head through the tall grass. Williams says Whiskey then went back into the woods and could barely stand up when he was found. He said in part, quote, "I brought a piece of chicken down with me to win his trust and gave him the energy necessary to get him back up the embankment. He then finished off my dinner, 2 chicken breasts and a cheese stick, and drank nearly 2 liters of water. That was the last time he walked last night. I had to carry him after that. He's a survivor. I'm so glad this part of the story had a happy ending." A Department of Public Safety spokesperson says there will be no charges filed against the driver of the truck. Whiskey was turned over to the Ogunquit Police and Animal Control Officer, where he will be cared for until reunification with his owner. The time is now 6:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Maine congressional delegation came together to encourage local businesses to continue selling lobster recently. But first, before we move on, let's take another look at that forecast. Breezy and rainy today, as you probably know. It's raining out there in some parts of the state right now. The high today is going to be 54. It's dropping down to 48 tonight. Fog and showers are likely to continue. Tomorrow, clearing up, partly sunny, high of 66.
Ah, look at you. Taking control of your morning mood by starting the day with what makes you happy. McDonald's has enough breakfast options to make your mornings happy every single day. Taking control never tasted so good.
Now, you can get a savory sausage McMuffin, sausage McGriddles, or golden hash browns. Choose any two for $3, only at McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC 7.
All I saw was her car getting closer to me, and then that's when she hit my car.
Did the car swerve? Tell me what happened.
I was in the right lane, she was in the left lane.
I was in the right lane, she was in the left lane.
Ladies, somebody's very mistaken here.
Hot Bench. Tuesday at 3 on ABC 7.
Maine's congressional delegation came together to publish an open letter to retailers and restaurants, encouraging them to continue selling Maine lobsters. Matthew Duronsik has more.
Monterey Bay Aquarium recently added Maine lobsters to its Seafood Watch Red List, asking consumers to avoid eating them. Now, in response, members of Maine's congressional delegation have published a letter in an attempt to set the record straight. In a joint statement from Senators Susan Collins and Angus King, Governor Janet Mills, Congressman Jared Golden, and Congresswoman Shelley Pingree, the group says, quote, to impose a red designation grounded in inaccurate and incomplete information severely undermines the credibility of the report's recommendation, end quote. Co-owner of Chipman Wharf, Amity Chipman, agrees that the designation is uncalled for.
Lobster fishing is not just a way of making money for us, it's a way of life.
The letter from the group suggests that the aquarium ignored basic evidence points, including the removal by Maine lobstermen of an estimated 30,000 miles of line from the ocean, a majority of right whale deaths coming from vessel strikes, and data showing that the death of a North Atlantic right whale has never been directly attributed to Maine lobster gear. Beale Lobster Pier dock manager Justin Snyder says he's glad Maine's congressional leaders are supporting the lobster industry.
We're a really small state. And, when it comes to being a small state and a small club that is the lobster industry, as a small state, the lobstering is the backbone of our local and state economy here. So it's great that we have such great leaders in Washington.
Snyder has a message for the aquarium.
This is going to take a personal toll on multi-generations of fishermen and their families. We have folks here that have been fishing with Beale since the 1950s. I would hope that the aquarium out there in California would be open to having those conversations with multi-generational fishermen to really understand how important the fishery is here to our community locally here on Mount Desert Island.
Matthew Duronsik, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Bangor's Director of Economic and Community Development is stepping down. Tanya Emery has held the position for the last 11 years. She is leaving to join the Maine Connectivity Authority to work on broadband at a statewide level. Emery says it's something she's very excited about.
If Maine does not have really equitable access to affordable broadband, it has to be affordable in order to really be accessible, then we're just not going to be able to keep up.
Emery says she has enjoyed working for the city of Bangor. She says she is very proud of the staff and all the incredible work they have been able to do. Her last day on the job is October 7th. The time is now 6:13. After the break, it's been 3 years since Maine has enacted a law to provide life-ending medications to terminally ill patients. Plus, the troop greeters are back at Bangor International Airport. We'll hear from them when we return.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of A Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
We're a AAA family.
We found out about AAA insurance through a friend who had actually mentioned it a while ago. We ran the numbers and it totally worked.
We looked at the statement for our previous insurer and then AAA insurance. Definitely, we've seen a huge difference.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
By switching over to AAA insurance, we saved over $450. So with our savings, he bought more equipment.
More money means more practice equipment.
In his world.
Why didn't we do this earlier? Why did it take so long?
We're a AAA family now.
AAA insurance allows us to do so much more with our kids and spend more time with them.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 877-209-5384 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
It's been 3 years since Maine's Death with Dignity law was enacted. On September 19th of 2019, Maine became the 9th jurisdiction in the United States to implement the Aid in Dying law. Under the law, a provider may prescribe life-ending medications to a terminally ill, capable adult who qualifies. Then it's up to the patient to choose whether or not to self-administer their prescription to facilitate their own death in a peaceful and dignified manner.
And it doesn't always go well. You know, despite the best medical care, the best palliative support, the best hospice support, some people just really suffer immeasurably when they're dying, and it's not necessary.
For more information on Maine's Death with Dignity law, log on to mainedeathwithdignity.org. The Maine troop greeters are back in action at Bangor International Airport. During the pandemic, the greeters had to stop their beloved ritual, but were given the green light earlier this year to return to Bangor International to shake hands and thank the military men and women who passed through the airport. Our Jody Hersey was at BIA for a recent troop flight.
Welcome to Maine ASX.
Day or night, the Maine troop greeters are on call to welcome troops passing through Bangor International Airport.
Some are coming, some are going, but we never know when they're going to come, day or night. We get the call usually a few hours before they arrive, and we get as many people as we can.
Disabled Navy veteran Lyle Grindle is one of approximately 200 Maine troop greeters who volunteer to drive into the airport just to shake a soldier's hand and thank them for their service. It's something the troop greeters have been doing since 2003.
I just enjoy greeting these troops and seeing them, talking to them, and it's really a good time, and they enjoy it too.
85-year-old Joanne Black of Brewer is another troop greeter who's welcomed more soldiers to the Queen City than she can count.
Back when it first started, we used to make fudge and cakes, and they'd come in and they'd say, "Look at the pogey bait." You know, that's what Marines call snacks, was pogey bait.
Over the weekend, 2 troop flights stopped at BIA. Christian Ray of Florida and his unit were pleased to see so many welcoming faces.
So it is always fun to especially meet the old vets that come out and meet us and hear their stories and tell jokes with them.
Thank you.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
The time is now 6:18, and let's get a full look at our forecast. Meteorologist Devin Biggs is in with the latest. Good morning, Devin.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today already, so we have that small crowd advisory that's in effect until 4 p.m. this evening, as things will start to calm down in the wind department later on tonight, and the parts of tomorrow which will help to ease up the ocean for a while. But we're still watching rain showers this morning, not much in the way of thunderstorms. That's mainly along the coast as our lighting tracker has been lighting up with a few offshore thunderstorms, but on land it's mainly some rain showers. But a few breaks are starting to develop as we start to get some of this out of here, though, with this area of low pressure. That area of low pressure is going to track off towards the east. High pressure right behind it for about a day or so will give us some very nice weather before more chances for showers and thunderstorms begin to move in later on in the week. Let's go on a field trip and talk about Hurricane Fiona. This thing has really intensified since our update yesterday. Now up to a Category 3 hurricane. We have winds up to about 115 miles per hour, moving toward the north-northwest at about 10 miles per hour. The red shaded areas right here, there's a hurricane warning. The orange areas, tropical storm warnings, and this thing is going to be tracking off towards the north from time to time, and even getting out to possibly Category 4 hurricane. Bermuda, we'll need to watch this closely. But then this thing continues to track off towards the north, though, maintain its strength. It'll be close enough to us where we may have to watch maybe for some effects from this system. No, more sure just some issues with wave heights, maybe a few clouds and some precipitation moving in. Still a long ways out, but we'll definitely make sure to keep you posted. This is this upcoming Friday at this point as it stands. But otherwise, though, back here at home, we do have some issues with gusty winds in a few areas as well, up to around 30 miles per hour and 20 miles per hour in a few spots today. Later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow, that wind will begin to back off. Our average high is now down to 69 degrees, and again, will remain cool over the next few days with 50s and 60s on the way, although a few middle to upper 60s as we head towards Wednesday and even in parts of Thursday as well. But moving forward, though, again, we have rain showers across the eastern parts of the state today. By later on tonight, that will slowly start to back off to a few sprinkles, maybe some fog in a few spots as well. But the clouds will be slow to break out for the daytime tomorrow. But especially by the afternoon, we'll start seeing more of this break up to a partly cloudy sky before our next system moves in, giving us more chances for a few showers and storms. As for precipitation, most of it will be across the eastern parts of the viewing area later today. But again, later this week, more precipitation on the way, so more beneficial rainfall continuing to be expected for a good part of the week. So your forecast for today, middle 50s cloudy with rain showers, the north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s, a slight chance for a few showers and sprinkles, maybe some patchy fog as well. North wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 60s, partly cloudy, north wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky on Wednesday, although more clouds in the morning. Temperatures in the 60s, upper 60s by Thursday with a chance for storms. And we're dry Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy temperatures in the 50s and 60s.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers statewide delivery and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
Molly.
Hey, John.
Your car's all set to go.
Good, have a good one. Hey, John.
Hi, Molly.
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Hey, Molly.
Hey, John, how are you?
Good.
Come on in.
We're your neighbor, your friend, your banker. Skowhegan Savings.
This morning on GMA, what will Kim Kardashian reveal when she comes to GMA about the new season of The Kardashians?
Oh my gosh.
Plus, Emmy winner Quinta Brunson live.
Good morning, America.
And Reba McEntire live, all on America's favorite morning show.
Good morning, America.
When Katahdin Cruises and Moosehead Marine Museum want to know the local forecast, they log in to foxbangor.com. Take a step back in time and experience Moosehead Lake from a unique viewpoint. Book your cruise now on the Steamboat Katahdin, online or at the ticket office the day of the cruise.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The timing of a call by a top Senate Republican for nationwide abortion restrictions is getting a lot of attention. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is defending his move, which has put many in the GOP in an uncomfortable position heading into the November elections. Fox News senior national correspondent Rich Edson takes a look.
I'm pro-life, even in an election year. And to those who suggest that being pro-life is losing politics, I reject that.
Though many Republicans are rejecting a proposal from Senator Lindsey Graham to ban abortions nationwide after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
I think a better approach probably will be to allow the states to work through this.
For months, Republicans have built their midterm pitch on inflation, the border, and a nationwide increase in crime. Graham says abortion should be part of that argument.
To my Republican colleagues, Now's the time to stand up and be counted. The pro-life movement is counting on you.
A newly released NBC poll shows that 61% of voters disapprove of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. Democrats have a 22-point advantage over Republicans on abortion. A recent Fox News poll showed a 12-point spread. The same Fox News poll found about 45% of voters are extremely concerned about abortion.
I encourage everyone to exercise your right to express your voice on this issue through your vote.
In New Hampshire, within hours of Republican Don Bolduc's primary victory, his opponent, Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan, ran an ad claiming a Bolduc victory meant a nationwide ban on abortion.
It's the only thing she's got. It's a distraction. She wants to take a very, very important issue and, like she always does, make it about herself.
Senator Graham acknowledges his abortion bill won't pass anytime soon, but he says he will continue fighting for it because, as of June, there is no longer any constitutional prohibition preventing Congress from setting abortion policy. In Washington, Rich Edson, Fox News.
4 in 5 pregnancy-related deaths in the U.S. are preventable. That's the result of a report from the Maternal Mortality Review Committee, who went over 2 years of data on pregnancy-related deaths, finding more than half happened up to 1 year after delivery. The top causes of these deaths were related to mental health conditions, including death by suicide, followed by excessive bleeding, cardiac and coronary conditions. The head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Division of Reproductive Health says the results show we need to improve initiatives in states, hospitals, and communities to make sure all pregnant or postpartum individuals get the help they need at the right time. Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll check in across the globe to see what's new at Oktoberfest this year. But first, let's take another look at our forecast. High of 54 today. That breeze and rain is going to stick on in certain parts of the state. That's continuing on into tonight. A low of 48. Fog is likely. Tomorrow, clearing up partially, partly sunny high in the sky. High of 66.
Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Hey Bangor residents, the City of Bangor is offering up to $2,000 in grants for income-eligible single-family homeowners if you install a new Fujitsu heat pump in your home. And Valley Home Services is an authorized Fujitsu installer. Up to $2,000. Combine that grant with rebates from Efficiency Maine, and you can have a new Fujitsu heat pump installed by Valley Home Services at little to no cost. Don't miss this incredible offer, Bangor. Call Valley Home Services today to see if you qualify.
He'll be safe in there.
Help keep what's important to you safe with Chevy Safety Assist, standard on these Chevy SUVs. Find new safe places, find new roads.
Qualified lessees with a current eligible lease can get this Equinox for around $249 a month, or get $1,200 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models when you purchase.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time, or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard to buy for a relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. It's Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. Law and Order Special Victims Unit is 23 years old as of today. You can watch it weeknights on ABC 7. 21 years ago today, President George W. Bush declared the war on terror. Actress Sophia Loren is 88 today, and today is National Gibberish Day. I am going to try not to jinx myself just by knowing that. And let's move on and turn it over to meteorologist Devin Biggs to get a full look at that rainy forecast. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, so we only have a small craft advisory that's in effect along the coast lasting until about 4 p.m. today. Afterward, the wind will slowly start to calm down, which will help out the ocean. But otherwise, though, plenty of rain moving in this morning and even some thunderstorms along the coast as the lightning tracker has been lighting up with some of that early this morning. The rain's going to track off towards the north and east and hit our eastern counties for most of today, which will allow more rain to fall there. But once we head towards tomorrow, things will begin to improve as we get this precipitation out of here. With this area of low pressure that does continue to track off towards the east, not much behind it. So again, we got to get through today and parts of tonight before tomorrow things begin to look good. As for today, Futurecast showing some of that rain staying around the eastern parts of our viewing area. But again, later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow, they'll back off to a few sprinkles. And eventually by tomorrow, the clouds will also begin to break up. The winds, though, will kind of be all over the place a little bit. A few gusts up to 20 miles per hour from time to time, but a gradual back off in the wind, especially as we head towards your Wednesday. So for today, middle 50s. It'll be cool out there, cloudy with rain showers. The north wind gusting up to about 20 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Plenty of rain with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. With Tuesday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
The Nasdaq was up 0.8% Monday. The S&P closed 0.7% higher, and the Dow finished the day up 0.6%. The Feds are expected to boost interest rates again on Wednesday. Ford, blaming parts shortages, is cutting its third-quarter earnings forecast. The company says it expects to have up to 45,000 unfinished vehicles on its lots by the end of this month. In a week and a half, you'll have the opportunity to own a piece of Porsche. The brand's parent company, Volkswagen, is setting up an IPO price range between $76.50 and $82.50 a share, which would value the sports car maker at about $78 billion. Trading starts on the 29th. And experts say FedEx, UPS, and the U.S. Postal Service bulked up so much over the last couple of years that they'll be able to handle a combined 110 million packages a day over the holidays this year, well over expected demand. I'm Leo Jonathan with Tuesday's Business on ABC7.
Beer is flowing again for the first time since 2019 at Oktoberfest in Germany. But for brewers and attendees alike, this year's challenges due to inflation have affected all aspects of the event. According to the AP, rising costs go much deeper than simply the price of a round at the festival's long wooden benches. Brewers are facing higher prices all along their chain of production, from raw ingredients like barley and hops to finishing touches such as beer caps and packing material. Despite these concerns, some 487 beer breweries, restaurants, fish and meat grills, wine vendors, and others will serve attendees at Oktoberfest. Opening hours will be even longer than in the past, with the first beer tents opening at 9 a.m. The event has typically drawn about 6 million visitors every year to packed festival grounds in Bavaria's capital. This year's Oktoberfest is the 187th edition of the event, which will run through October 3rd. Still to come here this morning, it's been 5 years since the Raceway in Unity last saw action. Tyler Cruz will give us an update on the new and improved track. And after sports, we have an in-studio interview with the director of a local nonprofit that is asking for the community's help. This and more when we return.
Find meaningful work in direct care.
Becoming a DSP wasn't something of an accident to me. It was a conscious decision. I was curious, and I had the heart to care for people.
Learn more about compassionate careers at caringforme.org.
Whether you're racing to pick up the kids or a quarter mile, make sure you get to the finish line in record time. Give your car the race car treatment with the brand trusted by the Napa Racing Team. Pick up a gear wrench socket set for your garage at any of our 29 locations. And while you're here, sign up for the Napa Rewards. You'll save more each time you shop. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Wheels taking a spin to the California coast. Head to the
C
and hang 10 or $10,000. It could get exciting around here.
I'm sorry.
Do our hot vacation prizes cause brain freeze?
Need a letter.
Oh, sorry. Plus,
what's your involvement with Beyonce?
Antonio's got a tale to tell. This week on Wheel.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
Find meaningful work in direct care.
Becoming a DSP wasn't something of an accident to me. It was a conscious decision. I was curious, and I had the heart to care for people.
Learn more about compassionate careers at caringforme.org.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. After losing their first game of the season to Mount Ararat, Brewer girls soccer has been lighting it up on both sides of the field, recording 4 straight shutout wins. And they're looking to do some more damage as the season progresses.
Think brewing on the soccer field this fall.
We're just doing really good, working together.
Our runs, everything's just clicking this year.
After dropping their first game of the year to Mount Ararat, Brewer has rattled off not only 4 straight victories, but 4 straight shutouts as well.
The 4 straight shutouts is just what everybody else sees, but what we see is the tip of the iceberg for all the hard work that's been put in since this summer and everything up until now.
We've just kind of been playing the way that we've been trying to play since summer session started and going from there. I mean, she's right. Tip of the iceberg, that's what we want.
Leading the way for the Witches is 9 seniors, 5 of them captains, and they've all been together for a while now.
We were playing rec ball like 4 years old together.
Literally. And that chemistry is showing up both on the field and in the win column.
I think it's really just all of us working together as a whole.
Yeah.
Our defense is just always killing it. Our midfield showing to the ball. Our strikers are finding the runs. So, yeah, I think it's really just a team effort.
I think, honestly, the talking's gotten a lot better with us, too, and that's really helped us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Telling people when to turn and come to the ball and what runs to take. So, and then we have really good captains out there.
On and off the field, I mean, they're having fun. They're smiling. You can see it pregame, after game. I mean, it's day one. The smiles were there.
At the helm for the Witches is Phil Turmel, and the first-year head coach is already making a huge difference with the program.
It's been awesome. I spent 6 years over with the boys, with the JV program and Coach Ben Poland. It's a whole new world over here, but I love it. They've been awesome. I can't ask anything more of them. Willing to learn, willing to put in the effort, and I think the results have been showing.
I feel like everyone this year really wants to be here, and they all want to get better, and that's a really good thing to have. And our coach does a great job coaching us through everything.
Through 5 games, the girls have already surpassed their win total from last fall. And while this Witches group is taking things one day at a time, they're certainly looking forward to what the future holds for them.
We've all worked really hard to get to where we're at, and I think we kind of all want to go out with a bang. I think we're just excited for what we're capable of. I think we're excited on how we've been playing and just want to keep that momentum going.
All right, certainly a good story there. Can't wait to see what the Witches have in store for them for the rest of the season. They have Lewiston Tuesday night at home. All right, moving on now. A hometown favorite has returned to Unity, but things are just a little bit different than they were 5 years ago. Before this year, it had been since 2017 since drivers were last in action at Unity Raceway. Besides all of the behind-the-scenes work that went into opening the track back up for racing after so long, they made some physical changes too, changing over to a dirt track this time around. And new track leasee and race organizer Joey Doyon says it feels great to open back up again, but the old track will certainly be missed.
The old track that was here, you just can't replace it. The memories that it had and the great racing that it had was great. It was awesome, but we're on to a new thing and people are having fun.
It says the reason of changing to a dirt track had to do with cost, not for them, but for the drivers and their vehicles. But even with that switch, the atmosphere at the track and support from the community has been there all year.
For the most part, this is about as cheap as it gets for now. The guys are running a long time on their tires and stuff, and it's just kind of backyard racing, like field bomb race. These guys have all been having a great time with it. Got a good group of drivers, too. We're learning this dirt deal. It's different.
It looks like fun. I have to check that out one Sunday. Let's move on now. Let's talk some Maine football, shall we? The Black Bears were down at Boston College on Saturday night. I got the chance to sit down and watch the whole thing on Nesson. And despite the final score, 38-17 loss, I felt really good about how Maine played in that one. And it was pretty hard not to if you saw the game. Despite being 30-plus point underdogs, Maine came out hot. They actually held a 10-7 lead over the Eagles at one point. And in the fourth quarter, they were still really in the game. They were only trailing by 2 scores, so a chance to get a score, make a stop, and actually tie the game until Boston College had a garbage time touchdown with just under a minute left. Late in the game, Fagnano found Montego Moss for their second touchdown in 2 weeks. Both defense and special teams looked good, too. Special teams set them up for their first 2 scores. And Maine fought really hard in this one against a Power 5 school. They don't play Power 5 schools very often, and Coach Stevens says that game just shows how they've grown since week 1.
Really proud of the team and how they came out, how they prepared last week, and the growth that they've shown through the first 3 games is something to be recognized. And I think that we're heading in the right direction and making improvements in the areas we want to be making improvements in terms of how we play. And so excited about our bye week here, and then working into Villanova.
Let's stay with some football now. Patriots picking up a win on Sunday. How about that? A big W on the road in Pittsburgh for New England. They held the 1-0 Steelers to just 14 points, only 1 touchdown on the defensive side of things. And the offense, they looked pretty good too. Probably the deciding play in that game was a deep ball from Mac Jones to Nelson Aguilar. That's right here. It was a 50-50 ball. Aguilar went over the defensive back. He went up and got it. And after watching the tape, Coach Bill Belichick, he had some strong praise for his wide receiver on Monday morning.
Nelly did a great job of going up and getting his hands on the ball and then kind of ripping it down and pulling it away. So you give him all the credit in the world on that one. That was a tough catch, and as you said, a 50-50 ball, and it came down in our favor. But he timed it well and went up and fought for it strong, kept his balance, and went into the end zone. It was a huge play in the game and a great individual effort on his part.
Yeah, week 2, a much better game to watch than week 1, that's for sure. That's all the time we have in sports. We'll be right back after this.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Ellsworth, is sponsored by Dragonfire Pizza, voted one of the best places to eat in Ellsworth. Momo's Cheesecakes. We have more than 60 cheesecake flavors to choose from, and now offering fudge. Stop in today. And Patriot Homes can tackle all your building projects, from modular homes to garages.
I walked into the nail shop and I seen her before I walked in there.
She says to me, "Hey, you remember me?"
Confronted by a shameless 13-year-old.
And at that point, she pulled the mace out and started spraying.
And for this mother,
I want you to be smart. I am. Maybe.
It's time to talk about parenting.
She hurt her. And if you cover for her when she's 13, you'll be covering for her when she's 23.
Next, Judge Judy.
Tuesday at 5, only on ABC 7.
This week on Jeopardy, we've got
competitive games, high scores.
Plus, Martha has done this before.
50 years ago this spring, I was on the original daytime show with Art Fleming. Wow. I won $40 and a set of encyclopedias.
It's America's favorite quiz show.
Ken, I'll make it a true daily double.
Okay, it's fun to say, right?
It is.
This week.
Wow, what a close game we have going on.
On Jeopardy.
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
And welcome back into Good Morning Maine. I am joined this morning by Andy Matthews. You are the board president for Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry in Ellsworth. Andy, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
Pleasure having you. Now, we have a big event coming up. You've been working on this going on. There's been a lot of fundraising. Can you tell me a little bit about it is the...
Fill the Grand.
Fill the Grand. That's what it was. I was going to say, I think it was along the lines of something else. But Fill the Grand, you're having that come up this Friday, and you're looking for some more donations and more fundraising to help out your profit.
We are. The Grand Theater is partnering with us to offer us the opportunity to collect food and funds. Our goal is to fill each of the 400 seats at least once, which would be which would raise $10,000 worth of food and funds if we're able to do that.
Wow, and this is the first time you've been holding this
This is the first time we've ever done it, yes. And Darling Chevrolet, which is one of our neighbors at our new facility, is sponsoring the event and helping us and providing the bags that we'll be filling. And so far, we've already sold about 105 seats, pre-sold.
Okay.
And so people have gone on to our website and made online donations or mailed us a check to say, hey, we want to buy this many seats. So one seat is $25.
Okay.
Or essentially 10 pounds of food is what basically fills the bag.
Now, when you're talking about filling the bag and giving these donations, you guys have been fundraising this for a little bit now. How has all the developing and putting all this together been for you over the last couple months? We understand that we've come out of the last couple of years. People have been, coming back with inflation and everything else. How have you guys been doing throughout this?
Yeah, we are seeing record high numbers of families in need. Yeah, and so it does certainly, we don't ever turn anybody away. So the need for food is at an all-time high, partly because of the economy, partly because of after effects of the pandemic. There's so many variables, but there are so many families in need throughout Hancock County and beyond. We serve anybody who comes in. And so in terms of raising this, the funds certainly go further because we're able to purchase food at a much reduced price from Good Shepherd Food Bank. We are a partner agency with Good Shepherd Food Bank, and so we are able to purchase from them. $1 gets us about 3 meals if we purchase through Good Shepherd. But certainly we understand that people may want to support us with specific food or personal items. And it's really great for younger people to be able to do that, to be able to start that process of being charitable and making that donation. And for them, I think sometimes it's a little more meaningful when they're able to give us a bag of food. And whether it's funds or food, it's going to go to serve our families.
And to a great cause in the community. I remember when I was a kid, it starts with like the UNICEF donations and the little quarters and pennies and everything. You realize that it doesn't take a lot to really get a necessity that is major up here with food insecurity and how people have been dealing with it. And it's a great cause that you guys have been doing. Now, we were also discussing right before this, 2 weeks, you got a lot going on. You have a new facility you guys are going to be going into. So there's a lot of moving parts going on right now in your organization.
Yeah, we will be moving to our new facility. We've been in a 1,200 square foot facility for the last 22 years. And we've continued service there, but we will be moving into our new 8,000 square foot facility and open for service on October 5th. We have purchased a building, done the renovations. We have a 5,000 square foot community garden that's already been built and planted this summer. We will be offering classes. We have a teaching kitchen, and we'll be able to provide more food to more families more often. And so we're really excited about that. So yes, there are a lot of moving parts over the next several weeks, but the community has been absolutely amazing in supporting us in both of these events.
And when you have that kind of relationship, it really does go far. And it pushes everyone to give back and help out, and it doesn't take too much. It never does. Now, going back to your event coming up on this Friday, is there, if anyone for our viewers out there, how can they donate, get tickets, get involved? I'm sure you're looking for volunteers as well.
Sure. I still need a few volunteers, absolutely. And they can contact us through our website, which is loavesandfishesellsworth.org. We are accepting prepaid seats at this point. And again, that's through our website. There's a button to click on for donate, and then you can designate that it's for Fill the Grand. Perfect. And you can buy one seat or you can buy multiple seats. In addition, we will be physically at the Grand Theater from 10 to 6 on Friday, the 23rd, welcoming people in, accepting donations, giving them more information about what we do if somebody needs to access our services. We'd love to have them come by and find out what they need to do so that they can get the food that they need for their families. So we will be there all day on Friday, and certainly if somebody is interested in supporting us ahead of time because they can't be there, they're at work, then again, contact us through the website and we'll reach out and make that connection, whatever that is.
That is perfect. Andy, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure. And all this will be on our Facebook page and our website, foxbangor.com. You'll be able to check out and find a way to get involved. Hopefully we can get you a few more people coming down there Friday.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll toss it over to weather and get one more check.
Thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo and stock. custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today already, so we have that small crowd advisory that's in effect until 4 p.m. this evening, as things will start to calm down in the wind department later on tonight, and the parts of tomorrow which will help to ease up the ocean for a while. But we're still watching rain showers this morning, not much in the way of thunderstorms. That's mainly along the coast, as our lighting tracker has been lighting up with a few offshore thunderstorms, but on land it's mainly some rain showers. But a few breaks are starting to develop as we start to get some of this out of here, though, with this area of low pressure. That area of low pressure is going to track off towards the east. High pressure right behind it for about a day or so will give us some very nice weather before more chances for showers and thunderstorms begin to move in later on in the week. Let's go on a field trip and talk about Hurricane Fiona. This thing has really intensified since our update yesterday. Now up to a Category 3 hurricane. We have winds up to about 115 miles per hour, moving toward the north-northwest at about 10 miles per hour. The red shaded areas right here, there's a hurricane warning. The orange areas, tropical storm warnings. And this thing is going to be tracking off towards the north from time to time, and even getting out to possibly a Category 4 hurricane. Bermuda, we'll need to watch this closely. But then this thing continues to track off towards the north, though, maintain its strength. It'll be close enough to us where we may have to watch maybe for some effects from this system. No, more sure just some issues with wave heights, maybe a few clouds and some precipitation moving in. So a long ways out, but we'll definitely make sure to keep you posted. This is this upcoming Friday at this point as it stands. But otherwise, though, back here at home, we do have some issues with gusty winds in a few areas as well, up to around 30 miles per hour and 20 miles per hour in a few spots today. Later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow, that wind will begin to back off. Our average high is now down to 69 degrees, and again, will remain cool over the next few days with 50s and 60s on the way, although a few middle to upper 60s as we head towards Wednesday and even in parts of Thursday as well. But moving forward, though, again, we have rain showers across the eastern parts of the state today. By later on tonight, that will slowly start to back off to a few sprinkles, maybe some fog in a few spots as well, but the clouds will be slow to break up for the daytime tomorrow, but especially by the afternoon, we'll start seeing more of this break up to a partly cloudy sky before our next system moves in, giving us more chances for a few showers and storms. As for precipitation, most of it will be across the eastern parts of the viewing area later today. Again, later this week, more precipitation on the way, so more beneficial rainfall continuing to be expected for a good part of the week. So your forecast for today, middle 50s cloudy with rain showers, the north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 40s, a slight chance for a few showers and sprinkles, maybe some patchy fog as well. North wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 60s, partly cloudy, north wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky on Wednesday, although more clouds in the morning. Temperatures in the 60s, upper 60s by Thursday with a chance for storms. And we're dry Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy temperatures in the 50s and 60s.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Just as cooler weather comes along, so does another great offer from Renewal by Andersen. All this month, $300 off each of our energy-efficient windows, $800 off each door, nothing down, no payments or interest for 12 months for qualified buyers. Schedule a free in-home consultation at rbagreatermaine.com.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
You nervous?
It's finally here. My lifelong dream of being in the FBI. We got this. We're feds.
Nothing beats a steak that's juicy, flavorful, and tender. So on those occasions when you want to splurge a little, I have just the thing. If you have a food processor or a blender, now would be a great time to take it out. And if you don't, no worries. You can chop all the ingredients by hand. We start by placing a bunch of fresh parsley in our chopper, along with some olive oil, fresh lime juice, a bunch of peeled garlic, and a generous amount of salt and pepper. We put the top on and pulse it until everything is well combined. You may need to scrape down the sides a couple of times, but that's easy enough. Now we pour all but 1/2 cup of this over a beef skirt steak, cover it, and place it in the fridge. After an hour or so, you'll want to turn it over so every inch of our steak soaks up all that goodness. Then it's cooking time. And you can do this indoors on a grill pan or out on your charcoal or gas grill. It only takes minutes before everything smells garlicky delicious. Once your steak is cooked just the way you like it, slice it across the grain and get ready for one of the most flavor-packed steaks you've ever eaten. To get the recipe for our garlic lover steak, you know what to do. Visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a garlicky good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
A Phoenix home gets a makeover straight from the pages of the Book of the Dead. Thanks to these two homeowners' love for the film Beetlejuice. Fox's Irene Snyder has more on the display and how it has grown over the years.
We both love Beetlejuice. You know, we've both seen it like 167 times, and it's getting funnier every single time we see it.
Matt Wiley and Karen Altamirano channeling their love for the classic Tim Burton film Beetlejuice, creating their very own Dante's Inferno.
And then the waiting room, we have Miss Argentina, the magician's assistant. You can actually sit down and take a picture here.
The couple started out buying Halloween decorations a few years ago, but after running into some defective products, they decided just to make their own. Everything here, minus the mannequins, is homemade.
So it started with just the worm and the signs on the top, and then as the years went on, we added the devil and the extra signs, and then the grave last year, and then the waiting room is this year's addition.
The waiting room was actually a lot more difficult than we thought. We didn't know if we could actually pull it off, but I played with textures and colors and paints, and we eventually ended up making the walls, and then the furniture. Everything is thrifted or like secondhand.
And they encourage people to come up to the waiting room and take a picture. Then again, do use caution. After all, you can never trust the living.
Good Morning America is next on ABC7. Stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great Tuesday.
Do you own a timeshare? At first, maybe it seemed like a great investment, but then you realized a lot of the promises made to you were simply not true. A little later, you started receiving the monthly maintenance fees and additional associated bills they failed to mention when you signed the agreement. And now their fees keep rising. Your times to actually use the timeshare keep shrinking, and the resort has no interest in letting you out of the agreement. Your vacation dream has turned into a timeshare nightmare. An overwhelming, never-ending financial obligation that will fall on your children after you're gone. And it seems as if there is no way out. Well, here's some great news. There is a way out. The Timeshare Exit Hotline has helped hundreds of people just like you. Desperate people who thought they were stuck in this burden forever. Although most professionals in the timeshare industry are legitimate, there are those that use aggressive, sometimes even misleading sales tactics to try and trick innocent people into signing their lives away. We've heard many stories of people who have been lied to and others who were kept in a room for over 10 hours, not provided water or anything to eat.